Who the hell was that?
You don't want to know, Kate.
I cannot be your partner if you don't tell me what's going on.
You're not my partner. Do you understand that? You never were. Someone has hired the Black Widow assassin. This has gotten very real, very quickly. So I'm doing this alone.
No, you're not.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies from Nerds New Bully. Me host Leroy, aka Mr. Monday Morning, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka the Brown Yeti.
Nice. Yeti's always a good thing. Yeah, we're back with another episode. And the thing is, Eli, we got a chock full episode of actually stuff we were supposed to talk about, comics. So
We do.
yeah, we got a full load. But before we get there, we're gonna, do our due diligence. I do want to let everybody know, Eli, you and all the listeners know right now that in the upcoming week, I want you to do one thing and make sure you don't do this. Do not Google Nancy Reagan. So if you don't do that, because I
don't think I ever have.
okay, because I did. She was trending today, and I did for a slight second to see like what is she trending for. I did that. Eli, I am scarred for life. So I'm trying to protect everybody else not to do that. I just want to go back to the day when Nancy Reagan was known
doing
for
porn or something. She got OnlyFans or something. Or she's dead, isn't she? She's got to be dead.
Yeah, she's dead now.
I know.
All I can say is I just want Nancy Reagan to go back to the days when she was just doing like Dare, just say no. That's all I want to know Nancy Reagan for, because we all know that Dare thing that actually probably created more drug addicts than prevented it. I mean, think about it. You had Dare back in school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my mom had a bumper sticker or something, or had a car that had a bumper sticker on it. I don't think she got the bumper sticker. I think it was already
in the 80s. It was everything. Just say no this, just say no that. And then you go to school and the cop comes in. It's like, okay, kids, whatever you do, make sure you don't drink too much Robitussin or it's going to get you drunk. I'm 7 years old thinking like, it does that? So so now I'm in the club 15 years later dancing to sipping, some scissor, so it's like Nancy Reagan.
Don't want no part of this, Leroy.
Right. What was it from
it makes you feel really good. Makes all your problems go away.
Just say no to drugs. All right. So anyway, let's get back to it. The reason I just want to say that because I want to lighten the mood because we're actually going to bring it down a little bit because we want to make an acknowledgement. Like I said, to the uninitiated, you may not know who this is, but we are initiated, aren't we, Eli? We know.
Yeah, this is
George.
This is
yeah.
sad.
This is sad. Now, this is George Perez. I want to make sure everybody knows the name is George Perez, not George Perez. He was always trying to correct people to make sure that everybody got his name right. I do want to let you know that he's actually not dead. He's actually still alive. However, he has been diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer. So, yeah. So, like I said,
which is a really bad one.
Which is a really bad one. Like they got some that you get better from. This ain't that one. So, Jake, what up? Yes, drug. That don't do it, Jake. we do not condone drug use on this one. At least not while the show is going on. Anyway, but yeah, George Perez, like I said, he is a titan, pun intended, in the comic industry.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Yeah, it was off the top of my head. It just rolls off. Anyway, yeah,
clever,
but like
man,
I said,
clever.
Yeah, man, it's just instinct. Yeah, but he has done so much for the comic industry. Because like I said, he's been drawing like forever, I guess, since like the 70s and the 80s. And the thing is, he's made some of the most iconic cover art or just interiors in comic history. Like people like rip off his art so much. It's got to the point that it's so famous. It's not even called ripping art because it's so iconic. Let's see. What has he made?
Hasn't he made?
What hasn't he made? I'm so glad you asked, Jake. Let's just go down the list and see. Like, for instance, he made the covers to Infinity Gauntlet. I think he drew the interiors of Infinity Gauntlet, but all the covers he did of Infinity Gauntlet.
I think he did.
Like
He was the artist on Infinity Gauntlet.
yeah, what Ryan Lim like finished it, but I think at the beginning of it was him because I think he had some other stuff, so he couldn't finish the whole thing. But like I said, I'm seeing this for the first time. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm saying like I don't know what the fuck a Thanos is, but he looked badass. I'm gonna go get this book, and then he goes around and just slaughters the whole Marvel universe. So yeah, starts off with that. And in my opinion, the greatest crossover event in comic history, not that one. That was pretty awesome too. Crisis on Infinite, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, this one, he did all the interiors, all the covers, all everything. This is the event that all events are measured by. It's not the first event, but it's the event that was like, maybe we should do more of these. So, like I said, and the event is so big that it's almost impossible to actually like do a movie of it. Yeah, they did a CW show of it, but you know, that's about as good as you're gonna get.
It was all right. It was fine. As good as it was going to be on CW.
Yeah, for the budget that you had, you know, they got away with it, you know. And actually, this is the most ambitious crossover we did. I don't know, Eli. I don't know. Was it Crisis or was it this? This is DC versus Marvel. Now, yes, they did a whole bunch of them.
I never read DC versus Marvel, but I did read Infinite Crisis, though.
Right, but the thing is,
Crisis on not Infinite Crisis.
Right, Infinite Crisis, he didn't do that. Crisis on Infinite Earths, he did that. Not to confuse with Final Crisis or Crisis on Two Earths or
Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity
or Infinity War, and yeah, it's a lot. They get confused. Or Secret Crisis that they were trying to make. Okay, so back to DC versus Marvel. This is maybe the most ambitious crossover they did. And Eli, the reason you haven't read this book is because it doesn't exist anymore. They completely taken off the shelves. It no longer exists. You can't find it in print. You can't find it digital. It doesn't exist anywhere. So this is the one where Superman beats the shit out of Hulk, gets to fighting with Thor, picks up Mjolnir, and starts beating the shit out of him. This is that one, you know, the epic cover that everybody knows. So yeah, people are trying to use like George Perez, like you know, bring this back. We know Disney and Warner Brothers and AT&T and Discovery, whoever it is, they got their issues. Bring this back because this book was epic. I remember reading this one. Let's see, why did they take it out? Because of rights, DC, Marvel, Disney, whatever, just disagreements. So that's the thing going on with that. So will it come back? Probably not. That's the thing. Like I said, this was actually the last DC Marvel crossover that ever happened. I think it was like 2001 or something like that. That was the last one. Before then, it was actually like pretty frequent. So,
and of course, Teen Titans.
I tried to find some. Oh, Wonder Woman. He did Wonder Woman. Okay, so he did do Teen Titans, but in the post-crisis of Crisis Infinite Earths, they gave him Wonder Woman. He completely rebooted the character. Most of what we know of Wonder Woman now came from his initial run, including the movies. And like you said, Teen Titans. Where's that Teen Titans poster? I didn't get it. Anyway, he did Teen Titans also. Now I know everybody knows Teen Titans from Teen Titans Go and the other anime like thing. Look, Teen Titans was awesome in the comic form. Like I said, it was pretty much the closest thing DC had to X-Men and New Mutants. They were just like, you see New Mutants, New X-Men, do that. Make everybody that. You know, and then like I said, George Perez was drawing it, so the art was awesome, like every single panel. And the way he drew Starfire, woo! As an adolescent, thumbs up.
The way he drew Robin's legs.
The way he drew Robin's, the accentuated,
those giant,
the accentuated calves, and yeah. So like I said, we're gonna revisit this. But like I said, he is a legend. He deserves to be talked about multiple times. So, like I said, you got the kind of cancer he's got. That's pretty much it. And that's kind of a tough break. Like you can pretty much time like when your days are numbered. You know, guess he can just spend the time just getting his getting his house in order. So.
Yeah, and he even said like in his post like he'd rather just enjoy his time that he has left here instead of going through treatments and feeling like shit and chemo and all that. And
he could probably put his family in debt, stuff like that.
Yeah, which may or may not even work. He says, I'd rather just, let nature take its course, which is really sad, but he's going out like a G though. Hey,
Yeah, yes. So, but like I said, he when you look at the work he's made, it's immortal. So his work will live forever.
Yeah, he even said he's going to try and hit as many cons as he can. And he says he wants to meet as many fans as he can before, while he still can. So,
okay,
which is
really
I thought
nice. Yeah, because I figured he was just gonna just rest up and that's it. So he's still gonna try to get out there while he can.
Yeah, and I guess he's like blind in one eye, and that's that. He retired like a few years ago. That's why he doesn't draw
Yeah,
anymore.
I remember him hearing it. Yeah, he retired.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you said. But
Yeah, because he's like can't see out of one eye, so yeah, he can't really work anymore. But I know he's still doing he still did like custom prints for people, but but yeah, let's hope he enjoys his time left here. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah. Oh, hey, just prayers going up for George Perez. Like I said, Perez, not Perez. We're gonna see a lot of people screwing it up. So anyway,
I've heard the R rule. I've heard the R Perez.
I can't do that. We tried that before. I just gave up on that. All right, so let's move on past this. Now, some more sad news or good news, depending on your perspective. I don't know if it's good or bad news for you. Also, we'll talk about it anyway. The Netflix series of Cowboy Bebop was canceled after its first season. So here today, gone today. Some people are upset. Some people are happy about it.
Been like what, a couple weeks?
Yeah, like we just talked about it like a few episodes ago, and it's gone already. Some people hadn't even seen it. Some people just like, I was going to see it, but now it's canceled. I'm not even going to bother. I've heard all kind of nasty stuff about it. The actors have been attacked online all day. So yeah, sad that. Yet, Jake, some people are sad about it. Some people are happy about it. Some people are throwing parades in the street. This shit is over with. So me personally, I'm indifferent about it, I guess. I mean, like I said, I didn't hate the show. I know some people just completely hated the show. As far as live action anime adaptations go, this is probably one of the better ones. Take that for what it's worth. Whatever you say, whatever you want to call it, that's it. I feel like they tried. I do feel like there was some love in the adaptation of it. I do feel like some characters nailed it. Like for instance, Jet Black, that actor nailed it. Hell, I like Spike. I thought Spike nailed it. Some people say he's too old like that. You didn't get that feeling. Like when you're there, he felt like Spike. I never a time when I felt like he was taking me out of the episode. Some other stuff we can complain about. We can complain about Vicious, we can complain about. Honestly, I was cool with everything on the show until the last 5 seconds, and Ed showed up. And Ed started talking. I was like, ooh, kill it with fire. Just
What the fuck were people expecting from a live action Ed?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like you don't know until you get it,
What the fuck? That's basically the point I was making. Why were you making this?
I'm just saying, you don't know what tasty wheat tastes like till you taste tasty wheat. That's what it was. So when they gave you Ed, you're like, ooh.
Ed, yeah, the stupidest, dumbest cartoon character in anime, and then they put her in live action. And you know what? As a fan of the anime, I didn't mind her. I'm like, whatever, a live action Cowboy Bebop. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they nailed it. I don't know if they pulled it off as good as they could have. But like I said, that was the biggest problem I had, even though it was only 5 seconds.
What were people expecting? Like Emma Stone as Edward, and
and she plays in everything. That's what everybody was expecting.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I'm a big fan of the anime. I loved it, but I didn't hate the Netflix show. I had issues with it, but in the end, it was just a campy tribute to the show. It gave all these nods to the, for fans to recognize. And it was a sort of a kind of a goofy, campy satire almost, and I don't think that goes ever well these days. Camp and sarcasm and satire doesn't really translate well today. You know what I mean? I think it goes over most people's heads.
People couldn't agree on what they hated about the show. The people that hated the show, they couldn't agree. Some people said it was too faithful. Some people said it wasn't faithful enough. I'm like, which is it? You can pick a reason why you hate the show, So I don't know.
But it was also just really fun. It was yes, they tried, but they also had a lot of fun with it. It was like really, like, not so much farce, but kind of satire and just like making fun of stuff and making fun of what I think fans were expecting. You know, it had like a campy tone to it that I actually enjoyed. Being a fan of the show, you know, or of the anime, I kind of like figured out what they were doing after a while. Okay, you guys are just having fun with this. You know, as much fun as you can with what you're doing. You know, and yeah, I thought they tried. I thought they gave it, you know, they got an A for effort for me. I mean, yeah, they changed some things. I wasn't into the vicious Julia shit that, you know, that was that whole
And
plot,
I
but
think honestly, I think that was one of the biggest issues with the show. Not the Julia Vicious thing, is it that they had to have a B story with the story
yeah,
because you got an hour-long show, you got to have a B story. The anime never had a B story. It was just this the plot, this is what it's gonna be the whole time. This feel like okay, we're gonna cut away from this, and it messed with the pacing of the
yeah,
show.
they try to expand on the story. We never knew who Julia really was. We didn't know about Spike's time and the fucking Red Dragons. We didn't know about any of that shit. And this show tried to flesh that out, like all, you know,
Yeah.
expansive
With varying
things.
levels of success, but
Yeah, you know, and I get that what they were doing. Did I like it that much? Not really, but I got what they were, you know, I get it, you know. In the end, I didn't hate it. You know, even when Ed showed up, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a live action Edward. Yep.
So that is a thing.
Yeah, because I was like cringing. Oh shit, what's gonna happen when Ed does show up? And then she showed up. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. You know,
So
I feel bad for the actress. I heard the little girl who played her is getting all kinds of fucking shit from the internet.
I mean, that's her first role ever, you know,
Yeah.
in anything, you know.
And and she's like Australian. She's like, have you heard her accent? She actually, you know, she's like from Australia or New Zealand or wherever. She's from down under, whatever. And so she actually put effort into acting like Ed, you know? And I'm like, wow, you did a pretty good job impersonating this character. And now she's getting shit on because the pussy ass internet trolls, you know, got molested. Oh, the Netflix molested me. Oh, you know how they get
ruined my childhood, all this crap.
all that bullshit, you know, and they're giving, I mean, I heard, what's her face? The girl who played FaZe was getting all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah,
and,
she was, you know, going back and forth with the internet even before the show even came out, you know.
yeah,
Because people were saying this
You
and
know.
saying that and stuff like that. So yeah. So like I said, show's done. It is a thing. It happened. We can move on. There'll
It wasn't
be another
that bad. It wasn't that
wasn't that bad. It wasn't Ghost in the
Yeah.
Shell. That shit sucked. So this wasn't that. So
Or Dragon Ball Evolution or whatever.
Dragon Ball Evolution. It wasn't that. People want to put it in that category. It wasn't in that category. It was actually I was entertained watching it. Is it the anime?
Yeah.
Is it as good? No, hell no.
No.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I wanted to talk about this, because that tweet I sent you earlier today, that's when people like, oh, the show wasn't that bad. Hell, the anime was that good to begin with anyway. I like, here we go. That's when it starts. That's when it starts right there. Because people want to try to rationalize. Like, if you like it, that's fine. But don't try to bash the old stuff. Because that's the thing, when you start making new stuff and it sucks, it makes the old stuff look bad in retrospective. I give you a prime example. And I know it's banned, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Independence Day. Because Will Smith. Because,
No
okay.
comment.
Yeah, right. But I'm going to just go there. I'm going to just talk about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to just, let's just do this.
I got another example.
Okay.
I got another Ghostbusters. Okay. The girl Ghostbusters movie.
The girl Ghostbusters. People looking like, well, the Ghostbusters franchise wasn't good to begin with. No, it was. This movie just sucked, you know. But now that because of this one thing, or even RoboCop, we try to mention RoboCop because of that movie that sucked. Meanwhile, we think the first one, like the greatest thing since sliced bread, we can't get people to watch it now because the RoboCop franchise altogether is sucked.
ScarJo. Yeah. ScarJo as Matoku.
Oh man, it was so bad. I'm triggered. That movie just triggered me anyway. Oh yeah. So that's all I gotta say about that. So yeah, don't try to bash it, or even Tomb Raider fans. Like, people love the games. Then those crap ass, Angelina Jolie movies came out. Now people are like, well, the games suck too. And actually, in retrospect, the games did suck, but we didn't know that till the movie came out. And we looked at the franchise as a whole, but still.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So when you put anything out, it does make all the other stuff look bad in direction. Let's talk Blade Runner. We could talk Blade Runner.
I could talk Blade Runner.
We could. I mean, but is Blade Runner like a beloved franchise? It's like a cult classic. You know, people just
the first one is classic. The second one, not so much, but people like because it's that what's his name? The dude,
that guy.
That guy. He made it, and all the cinephile. Yeah,
because it's cinema. That's the thing.
Yeah, like. It's real cinema, and it looks awesome. But it's like watching insects have sex.
And not in a fun way. not praying mantis.
It's like watching insect porn. Yeah.
Not praying mantis getting
flies,
down. Yeah, you can watch that all day. But flies, you don't want to watch that. No,
yeah,
not praying mantis.
Kind of sit
fly
there,
sex.
You know?
Yeah.
Like even dogs are more fun to watch than insects. not that I watch them all the time. I'm just saying.
But if you see a dog having sex, you are going to sit there. Well, will you look at this? You know, you're not going to stop them. You're just going to let them just go. But it's not that.
We're not kink shaming nobody. You know,
right.
I'm just saying, you know, anybody who likes watching insect porn.
I'm just saying, it's better animal porn to watch. That's all I'm saying out there. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of the podcast.
All right, Blade Runner. Blade Runner's, yeah. Blade Runner 1, cool. Second one.
it's a thing. Yeah, he made it. Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Gabe, Gabe, everybody congratulate Gabe, man. I was gonna save this for later, but I'm gonna say it now. Gabe has stepped into the world of the master race. He is part of us now.
Uh-oh. Did he get assimilated into the collective?
Yes. Resistance is futile. But the PC master race at that. He got a PC laptop. All right. So now we're gonna move on past it. We're gonna talk about Hawkeye. I just want to briefly talk about Hawkeye. Like I said, we're on episode 4 now. Only 6 episodes in all, so we're getting towards the end. There's almost it. And this episode, like I said, that third episode to me was probably one of my favorite episodes of any Marvel movie, you know, that came out, like period. But this one, it was cool. It was all right. It was a slower burn, you know. It kind of had a pacing issue with me. It tried to be like a Christmas movie and Bourne Identity all at the same time. I'm like, I don't know how that mix, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a thing, you know. And you know, you got Kate and Clint, you know, getting to know each other. It needs to be longer than 6 episodes. No. 6 episodes all need to be, because anytime you go past that,
as long as they're doing that, yeah. If they're gonna have the sweet candy coating that the show has.
Yeah, because we don't need filler. That's the thing we do not need is filler, because I've seen plenty of shows do that. That's how you get The Flash season 7 with 26 episodes. You know, and it's just like, what? We're doing an episode about Killer Frost? Okay. Yeah, why not? No, we don't need that. Just keep it short, keep it simple, get to the point of this. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to just talk about some brief things on there. We did get a reveal. Not the reveal everybody wanted. I know everybody wanted the reveal of who Uncle was, but we didn't get Uncle. Although we did get a mention that Hawkeye did call him the big man. So at this point, Eli, they're not even teasing us. It's him. This is not a Mephisto situation. So, and also we got the reveal of everybody's favorite, Yelena Belova, the White Widow, Black Widow. I don't know what they call it. That's the name.
Who the fuck is that?
Everybody knows it is. Everybody went crazy. I saw the YouTube reaction. Oh, it's my girl. It's my girl. You know. Okay, but I do want to show you this. Now, some people were confused about the head shake that she gave. Like, oh, why didn't Kate take the shot? The reason Kate didn't take the shot because she did this new nod right here. Now, a lot of people don't know what that nod meant because you've never been in a fight before. The nod meant you shoot that arrow and you miss, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's all it meant. There was no hidden meaning. There was no, well, they did this. No, that's what it meant. So, because she's a Black Widow. Black Widow number 2. Yeah, she is Black Widow number 2. I love Yelena Belova because she had that cool ass, not her, Splinter Cell headgear on, you know, like that. I was like, oh, they bringing that back. You know, they're back in the 90s. She was one of the Thunderbolts, you know, all the stuff like that. So that's all cool. But that's not the most interesting thing about the show, Eli. Not to me. the most interesting thing about the show so far, or at least that episode, was Hawkeye's wife. That's the most interesting thing to me.
Oh yeah, how she
Because
was doing stuff.
she did stuff. Exactly.
Mhm.
Most housewives or most superhero girlfriends, they don't do stuff. They usually stay at home, they usually complain, why aren't you here? All this stuff like that. Get killed by supervillains. That's what they do. No, but she was helping out. She was hacking in the database and stuff like that, doing stuff Kate's security team couldn't even do. She was speaking German. Even in the episodes before then, caught my attention. I like, okay, Clint was telling her the moves of what he was going to do to get inside the tracksuit mafia, and she was just like, "Oh, you're going to do the whatever move." Okay, cool. So she knows the ins and outs of the spy game, stuff like that, which all adds up when you put it all together. That means she has to have shield training. There's only way about it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna even do a little speculation, which I said we weren't going to do on the show.
Do you have a theory?
I have a theory, and it's probably not even a strong theory, but I'm gonna just say this: that watch belongs to her. Now I'm pretty sure it's not a long stretch, but I'm just thinking that watch belongs to her, and that's why he's trying to get that watch back for her. So basically, he's on a mission for his wife, And here's the thing: so there's Hawkeye's.
You don't think it's a Stark watch that has the suit, iron suit in it and shit?
No. It's not that. I doubt it. I know everybody's thinking that. I know everybody thinking, oh, she's a Skrull or something like that. Okay, you're going too far. You're going too far. How is she a Skrull and she was pregnant in Age of Ultron with Clint's kids? So are they Skrulls? I mean, let's think about this. Let's not dive out the deep end. This is how we get Mephisto. This is how it starts. So just keep it simple. Keep it confined to what's going on with the show right now. Does his wife do stuff? That's the thing. Gabe, you spoiling it. You spoiling it, Gabe. Because here's the thing. So Hawkeye was married in comic. Keyword was. He was married to Bobby Morse, aka Mockingbird. That's who was the character in the comics. They had a run back in the 80s, but that was his ex-wife that got divorced. She had a run for a while in the comics on her own poster. And this was the last issue of her own solo comic, which got all the fanboys' titties in a twist. That's why they hate Bobby Morse to begin with.
Oh, remember those days, those glory days?
Oh yeah, way back in the day. What happened to those fanboys?
Way back in 2015. Remember them days?
So my thing is, so Mockingbird that's Clint's wife in the comics. So his wife in the show has shield training. Now, even though she hasn't been called Mockingbird or anything like that, they may reveal later on, maybe like episode 5, episode 6, that, oh, I was a shield agent named Mockingbird. And everybody go, ooh, cool. But here's the thing. If that happens, then that will completely decanonize Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because they had a Mockingbird on the show. Debuted in season 2. She was like on the show for like 3, 4, 5 seasons. I don't know how long the show went. Well, I do, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But that was Mockingbird on the show. So if she's revealed to be Mockingbird, that means Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon. We can't have that. So we all went into like crisis mode to feel like.
But what if it's part of the multiverse because of madness?
Yeah. It could be multiverse, or she was a variant that they wiped out, something like that.
Or she was a Skrull.
Everybody on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a Skrull.
Because they went to space, right?
Yeah. They went to space. Yeah. Quake was a Skrull. Yeah. Agent May. Yeah. But here's the thing. I have another theory to make it fit.
Okay.
Because we haven't had anything yet to like completely just make a plot hole Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So let's say that Clint's wife was the first Mockingbird and she passed it down to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mockingbird. Boom. There you go. I fixed it, Marvel. There you go.
Mm-hmm. And now that you said that, I got a little theory is for my mind.
Okay.
Do you think, or when do you think? Do you think they might? Because I'm going by, I think it was it Bendis in the Young Avengers when Echo. Mm-hmm. Echo fought Elektra, got killed by Elektra. And then she, the League of Assassins.
Same thing.
The hand.
Right. The foot. Yeah.
The foot, the hand. The hand resurrected Echo. And then they fought again, or she got possessed or whatever, and she killed Elektra. Echo killed Elektra. But then Elektra turned out to be a Skrull. And that's what led into
That is true.
Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Now, Secret Invasion is supposed to be happening sometime
Like
in the
soon.
next soon.
Like
yeah.
like next year. So
So
they
do you
could.
think one of these shows they're gonna reveal a Skrull? One of these characters on one of these shows is gonna be a Skrull.
It's going to happen. It's not going to happen in Hawkeye. I'm gonna say why it's not, because I think in this particular show, they're trying to put boots in the ground, street level, so they're not trying to tie it into the cosmic shit unless it has to be tied in, like the Soul Stone with Black Widow. But other than that, I think they're kind of grounded as much as possible. So they're gonna tie it into Skrull shit, but they will tie it into Kingpin might show up, Daredevil might show up, Echo's getting their own show. I think that's where they're going with it. So it's coming. I think if anything,
Yeah.
like that Captain Marvel sequel might set up Secret Invasion or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what? Oh, who was Greg? Greg Tanner. Now, y'all.
Doobie Doo, y'all, or what was he saying? Is that Cypress Hill? Scooby Doo, y'all. Scooby Doo, y'all. Doobie Doo.
I don't know. Somebody
What
Google
up,
those
Greg?
lyrics.
What up, Greg?
Yeah, what up, Greg? Yeah, somebody Google those lyrics. Let me know what it is. If I get me. This is what I meant to say. Okay, here's the thing. Technically, Kevin Feige didn't officially decanonize it. Whenever they asked him the question, he changed the subject. So he never said "fuck Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D." He just said, "Oh, look over there." That's all
Anyways.
he said. Right. So that's all he said. See, they've actually officially said, but we know he never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We know that. He doesn't know what a Quake is. He doesn't care about Daisy
or
Johnson.
An Inhuman.
Or an Inhuman. He did. He saw it. He was like, no. Yeah, we can move on past that. I think that's all the time we hit. Now we can move on to the slightly Vidja game section. I'm just briefly talk about it. Oh yeah, before we talk about this, okay, so like I said, I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy, and I made it to a boss fight, Eli, a boss fight that caught my attention. Shout out to everybody that watched the stream the other day. I think I'm almost at 1,000 views on that. So yeah, shout out to everybody watching.
Fight Ego?
I don't think he's in the game. If he is in the game, nobody spoil it for me. I haven't made that far yet.
I don't know. I was just saying who's right.
I don't know either, but I'm hoping
Ray Bill?
He's not in it. I fought this guy, Dweller in Darkness.
Oh.
Okay. So Dweller in Darkness is the bad guy in Shang Chi.
Really?
The big monster at the end, yeah.
The big giant
monster. Yeah, they kept calling him Dweller in the Darkness. So the Dweller in the Darkness is one of Lady Hellbender's monsters in the fight. And Lady Hellbender, I had a scan. She was a totally awesome Hulk villain. I don't have a scan for it right now, but I'm just saying, but that's what's going on right now. So when I saw Dweller in the Darkness, I'm like, synergy. They tying us all together.
So they're trying to. So you think Shang-Chi is setting up like the more hell, like the hell shit, because remember at the end, like the end of Shang-Chi, when they said, "Oh, this magic isn't any."
Oh, they said the fake phone. That's all.
Yeah, all that shit. It's not from space. It's not this magic or other. Oh, it's some magic I've never seen before. Is it going to be like more hell shit because of Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness?
Oh, the multiverse of madness. Nah, they just sent a fake phone.
And
that's all.
And Blade and all the more hell, the hell stuff.
Oh, you mean like Shang-Chi's going to be one of the Midnight Suns or whatever it is?
Yeah, something like that. That's what they're setting up. They're setting up like a Mephisto or Dormammu. Well, Dormammu's already been around, but
I don't think so, because I think they're doing like a mythical type thing with Shang-Chi, where I think with like Blade, he's going to be more like a street level type. That's what I think. I know, and like Black Knight going to be like a street level type dude, even though they dibble and dabble in magic a little bit. But I don't think Shang-Chi, even though in the comics he do fool with those guys too.
Yeah,
I don't know. It
just seems like they were setting up something other than cosmic shit. Like they already did the cosmic shit, but there's just something else.
I think it's just some cosmic shit. I think it's
more cosmic.
Yeah, I think it's more cosmic shit. Yeah, Fang when we show up, he's an alien. He's the reason for all of our myths about dragons and blah blah blah, whatever like that. And Shang-Chi got to fight him. Maybe with Riri Williams or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. All right. That's all I got to say about that. And also in the video game section, I want to talk about this because we're going to talk about The Last of Us. Last of Us HBO series that is coming out. Because just once you know, Nick Offerman has been added to the show. And he's playing the character Bill. Now, the reason I want to talk about this, because for those that don't know, before people get panties in a bunch, hold on, let me see. Did you play Call of Juarez? Shang is probably going to be the ring of plays the comic man the ring came from. Yeah, that weird planet. I can't remember what that planet's name is, but yeah, where he came from. I did not play Call of Juarez, but Gabe, I did download all the Call of Juarez games for like $5. So yeah, so hopefully they're good. What was I talking about?
Nick Offerman.
Last of Us. Yeah, Nick Offerman. Okay. Now I want people to not get upset because I know it's coming. I can see it coming already. Bill is going to be gay in the Last of Us show because he was gay in the video game. People are going to get pissed talking about how it's woke and all stuff like that. No, he was gay in the video game. So when you see Nick Offerman do whatever HBO
Suck
likes
a
to do,
dick.
yeah, mouth to ass or whatever goes on there, just let them know that they already referenced that the character was gay in the video game. Now, I will say this: he was just referenced as being gay in the come. Like if you read one of the notes in the background, stuff like that, he was gay. He didn't go ass to mouth on nobody, but already know in HBO, because they take it to the next level, that's what they're gonna do. Because we know they did the same thing with Hooded Justice on Watchmen. But Hooded Justice and Captain Metropolis, they were gay in the comics, but only if you read one of those excerpts at the end of the book. It's a one little line that said it there. But like I said, in HBO, they had a full-on gay porn in there, Now, I didn't have a problem with it, except for one thing. I did have one problem with it. Why was Hooded Justice the bottom? That's my only thing.
Maybe that's what he likes, man.
I'm just saying, man. I mean,
and he just wants to chill and let
just lay there. That's all of my thing. I don't know why they popped in my mind. I'm just like, why? I'm gonna leave that alone.
You thought way too much about this.
I thought way too much into it, but even when I watched the scene, I was just like, come on, man. we don't. I'm still traumatized from that. All right. So anyway, can we get to let me call it. Can we get to the video game section? I mean the comic book section now. Okay.
Sure.
Like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're gonna get into it. And Eli, you got a bunch of books, so I'm gonna let you start first, go into it, and then I'll jump in from there.
Okie doke then. Should I start out with a lot of finales this week?
Well, annuals had a lot of annuals this week.
Annuals too. Another thing of annuals. You know what? I did not even organize my shit. I did not organize. Yeah,
I didn't either. So. That's why I let you go first, so I can figure this shit out.
I forgot to where's my folder at? I can't even find. Damn, this desktop is messy as shit. Here we go with the bully picks.
It is power with the other shit over here. Let me just grab.
Okay, so oh man, and it's a small ass thumbnail. I thought this.
Hey, Eli, you had one job.
Yeah. Well, here we go. I'll do Hellions number 18, and there's I thought was going to be a stroke-worthy picture of Madeline Pryor, but it's really small.
I mean, I got to use my imagination.
You got to fucking zoom in.
It wouldn't be my worst,
Yeah, zoom in. You can zoom in, right?
Just squint, everybody. That's
so Hellions number 18. This is the final issue of the Hellions book.
Wait, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah, last book of the Hellions. Picks up right where we left off. Nanny or Orphan Maker went on a rampage because Nanny kind of gave him the cold shoulder and said to grow up and you're a man now. You don't need me anymore. So he went on a rampage, killed a bunch of people, killed a bunch of the people from the right. The right were those mutant, that religious mutant, anti-mutant.
Wait, so the right are the bad guys of the book?
Yeah. Well, they were in this run, this arc.
You don't think that's a little too on the nose? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
some
what
people
will
read into that. The right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, he went on a rampage, killed a bunch of people, and he had to become it. So they actually, the book starts out, they sent in a bunch of the X-Men to reel in the Hellions, to basically arrest Orphan Maker. But the rest of the squad was like, yo, man, he's just a kid, man. You got to give him some slack. And they're like, nope. So they have a fight. They actually have a fight. And Grey Crow sets it off. He punches Cyclops, punches the shit out of him. And then they all start fighting. But then Empath comes and says, y'all chill out, because he can control everybody. So he makes everybody like stand down. And then they go to the Quiet Council to be, they're on trial now. And there's a bunch of really, profound arguments over, Orphan Maker and, whether or not he should go down to the pit. But then Nanny comes out and says, I'm going to go down there with them. And it was really sad and kind of poignant. She's like, I left you and dismissed you once. I'm not going to do it again. You're my kid. I'm always going to be there for you. So I'm going to go down there with you. And she sings him a lullaby while he's being sent down to the pit. And it was like really kind of sad, and that's kind of where the book ends. But then we get like a little, sort of a roundup of what happens to everybody, a little recap of, Empath feels like shit because he's kind of, everybody rejected him and everyone hates him now because he was in cahoots with Emma Frost and fucking the team over. Who else was there? Shit. Shit. Damn technology. Oh, not Cyclops. Havoc. They finally resurrected Madeline Pryor. There was that whole argument about whether or not she should
could, because she was a clone, and
she was a clone of Jean Grey. They resurrect her, and he's all like, "Oh, Madeline, you're back. I missed you so much." And she's like, "What? Who said? Did you ever think about me and why did I want to come back to life, and now I got to deal with all this shit now?" So she kind of gives me the cold shoulder and shit.
Because she banged two brothers, right? Yeah.
And then but then she kind of calms down, and says, "Okay, yeah. We'll hang out and shit." And then she looks in the mirror, and she's all like fucking
Goblin. She's Goblin
Goblin Queen again and shit. So that ends there. And then shit, where is it at? Here? No. Sorry, I'm gonna scroll through all these fucking pictures because I didn't organize nothing. Here it is. Hopefully I don't happen upon any porn I got here. So here's a picture of Sinister. Sinister's like, they all kind of know what he's been doing, but he's still plotting and scheming. He says, "I got something. Just wait, you meddling kids. Wait till my plan gets set into motion." And as you can see, he's got, he's probably planning on doing something with the DNA of Cyclops.
We've already seen,
Storm, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine.
I see Wolverine,
yeah. So he's thinking of probably fucking around because he had the DNA of the Chimera, the Exoswords, Goblin motherfuckers from Araco or whatever.
Right. I mean, that's like good. If they go by the future, he's already done this stuff.
Yeah. So so this is them. Wait till this plan has been according to my design. That's what he's doing. And then finally we go to Psylocke and Grey Crow. Now they've been like teasing the sexual tension between Grey Crow's got the hot for Psylocke because it's fucking Psylocke.
Because it's Psylocke, right?
But then he kind of like said fuck her after she fucked over the crew. But then I think he kind of forgave her when he's like, well, the reason why she fucked over the crew is because Sinister had her kid or the DNA of her kid. And then, so I think they've kind of squashed it a little bit. I think the relationship is sort of starting to bud again. Like they kind of suggest that they might get back together or they might be together or they might do something. Yeah. Cause Grey Crow was right about to shoot Empath. He's like, fuck this guy. And then Psylocke's like, hey, can you not do that? He said, I don't give a shit what the council says. I don't care if they throw me in the pit. Fuck this guy. He's a piece of shit. He needs to die. And then Psylocke's like, I'm asking you not to kill him. And he's like, okay. And so at the end, they're like holding hands at the end of the comic. So it kind of suggests that, they might have something going on.
Bittersweet ending.
Yeah. And that's about it. I mean, yeah, because these were a bunch of villains basically who came together and formed a reluctant bond, like Cowboy Bebop, a bunch of misfits that came together and formed a family. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, you've seen it, and now this is the end of the road. The team has disbanded, and we don't know what's in store. And I'm kind of bummed because I really dug on this comic, and I hope they bring
It's weird. It's weird that it's because it actually was one of Marvel's better selling comics.
It was a lot of fun, and it had a cool native character in it that I hope that they're going to bring back, that they're going to shove back into the closet because this book has ended. And
right,
they're going to
just be a trivia on game night. Did you know?
And then they're going to have all this other X shit happening, Marauders and all the other characters. All Havoc's coming back. Psylocke's going to do some shit, and Madeline Pryor. But I hope my boy Grey Crow stays around. But I don't know. So 4 out of 5. I really dug this series, and kind of bummed that it's ending. So
okay, so and they're getting out on you in the comments.
My insect porn.
Did she join the castle?
That's for my eyes only. My eyes.
Right. I don't think she joined the council, but like I said, I misplaced on who's in the council, who's not. They kind of come and go. The right has always been the wrong. They're where Cameron Hart. Actually, that wasn't what I was talking about. I don't want to go in any deeper than that, but yeah. Let's see. Okay, it's on me now. All right. So next one I'm gonna do. Let's stay with the X thing. Let's go X minutes. Because I want to talk about Inferno. See if I can find it real quick. So Inferno, like I said, we're on.
Does that come out this week?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't read it. Damn.
Wait, were you keeping up with Inferno?
I was reading Inferno. That's Hickman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it's like after Hickman's done with this, he's done with Marvel. Like that's it. So almost another fact. But isn't it like we missed the second issue because I guess we took a break or whatever like that. But yeah, this is the third issue now, and I think it's only like 4 issues in this whole series. I think I may have lost track of it, but let's see what we got going on here. So, like I said, this is a Hickman book. So when you get a Hickman book, he throws a lot of meat on the bone. You order an 8-pound steak, you come back with 12. He's going to give you everything you want. This book is no exception. And on top of that, it's double-sized in regular pages. So I'm going to try to condense it down as much as possible and just kind of get to the point. Because if I just say everything happened in this book, we'd be here all day. Like this would be the podcast, but I'm not going to do that. Basically what's going to happen is they go to a flashback. Professor X is taking, Cypher. He's taking Cypher to Krakoa to basically try to communicate with Krakoa to let them know that we're bringing more mutants over here and try to create an ecosystem for him. And he does it. Cypher does everything he expected. However, Cypher doesn't trust Professor X. He's like, I know he's Professor X. I know he's a good guy, but I really don't like him. So he rigged up a way where like the Professor X and Magneto have rigged it up where Krakoa can't see certain areas of the island. He hacked into it where Krakoa can because he brought his boy Warlock with him. He's like, okay, you can't see it, but they don't even know Warlock is here. So I'm gonna let you and Warlock like merge into each other, like combine DNA, whatever like that, and you can see what Warlock sees. So basically, there are no secrets on Krakoa. They know everything. So that cuts down to that. And the thing is
who knows? So Cypher knows everything?
Cypher knows everything.
Okay.
Every dirty secret that Professor X Magneto been hiding from everybody, he knows it. And Krakoa knows it. Because the main thing they know Moira McTaggart is alive. Nobody else knows. They be keeping this. Yeah, so they know that. And Krakoa knows it also. So he was like, I knew I didn't trust them. And he knows that Moira McTaggart pretty much has rigged up this whole Krakoa thing to kind of like basically make mutants take over the earth and stuff like that. So let's cut to the White Queen, Emma Frost, and so Emma Frost, Mystique, and Destiny. So now Mystique and Destiny are here with Emma Frost, and Emma Frost is also telling them that Moira McTaggart is alive. They're like, how is she alive? There's no way she's alive. Like, yes, she's alive, and she has the power to basically resurrect and change the future however she wants to. So they didn't know that. They don't know that she's here. How Emma Frost knows that, I think they figured out in the last issue, but whatever. So basically, she's basically saying, I have a plan that we're going to put in motion. We're going to stop them from doing all this crazy shit. And matter of fact, Emma Frost even shows them a clip of one of the other lives where Destiny burnt Moria tagging alive. You know, so they know everything now. So Cypher knows Moria is alive. Mystique and Destiny knows Moria is alive. So basically going to put a plan together where we're going to just burn Krakoa down to the ground. Who's with me? And that's the plan. Meanwhile, cutting to Professor X. Oh, so basically we go to Moria. She goes back to her apartment and she get ambushed by Orchis agents. You know, Orchis agents is S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, AIM. Every human organization is there. They're there. So they kidnap Moria and take her. And take her, we don't know where they are. So here's the important part. We cut to, oh yeah, shit, we got to get to this part. Okay, so we got Magneto and Professor X. They're having a meeting with each other. And basically they know that certain people know that Moria's alive. And if that gets out there, if everybody knows that Moria's alive and been behind the scenes manipulating everything, they're going to lose everything. All the mutants that they brought here, they're going to lose faith in them. They're going to lose control of them. And basically Krakoa will just, fall to pieces. So we have to figure out a way how to stop this. So while they're doing that, Professor X actually get like a mental attack with him like that he knows that Moria is being attacked right now. So they need to go rescue Moria. She's been attacked. They know she's not dead, but they got to go get her. And Magneto basically put something in her arm so they'll know where she's at all times on the planet. So let's go get her. Just me and you, because nobody else even knows about her. So we have to be the ones to go get her. Meanwhile, on the Orchis Forge, what we have here is that you have the Omega Sentinel and you got Nimrod. And Nimrod is looking at the Omega Sentinel like, okay, where are you from? Because you're not from here. I can read the tachyons bouncing off your body that I know you're not from here. You may be from another timeline, another dimension. Where are you from? She's like, okay, I'm from the future. And I'm from the future because the future I'm from, the mutants always win. And see, if we had music right now, not a comic book, it would go dun dun dun, because every future we've already known the mutants get wiped out. But she's from the future where the mutants win. And the reason, because the thing is, she said that's when the war starts around this time right here. So, but the thing is, when we wipe out some of the mutants, Apocalypse and his kids come back and wipe us all out. Humans, robots, everybody goes. So we even call robot gods, and they come and they basically put my consciousness back in my old body, and that's how I'm here now. So even though my body is here, my consciousness is from the future, and I'm here to make sure that you take over. So that's the whole thing right there. Other stuff happens, but I'm going to fast forward to that.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm speeding through this because there's actually more stuff, and then give a whole timeline about her whole Omega Sentinel timeline, and then actually goes back.
Hickman likes his diagrams.
Yeah, so it goes here, and then it goes. Let's go back here, and then we follow through there, and then so all that. So
see figure 1B.
we got to read Excel pages. What the fuck, All right. So anyway, Magneto and Professor X track Moria's signal to the base of where they are, and they find a whole bunch of dead S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. They're like, hold on, what happened here? And they think you don't think they kill Moria, dude? But they know that Moria technically can't die, because if Moria does die, this whole reality gets erased. And the bad guys know that too, so they know they got to keep her alive. So they go walk through all the dead bodies. They go through there, and they go through this big door, and you see Moria, and you see Moria's been kidnapped by Mystique and Destiny. And she's just like, they're not going to find you, right? Matter of fact, we set up a trap for them. So they walk into the room, and what do they see? They see Moria's arm, but not her. She is somewhere else with her arm cut off. So, yeah. And basically Mystique is like, yeah, we got your ass now. So they know they're there. They know it's a trap, so they lock the door behind them. Whole bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra and AIM agents pop out of nowhere. Also with Nimrod and Omega Sentinel. Speaking to you. So that's the story. So, and ain't no other X-Men to back them up. And they're in the room by themselves. They just locked in there by themselves. Like I said.
So who is it? It's Mystique, Moria.
Yeah.
And who else?
Destiny. But they're not there. They're somewhere else. Where they are, we don't know. They set a trap for them. So Professor X and Magneto in another room surrounded by Nimrod and Omega Sentinel, who them two by themselves killed off the mutant race. So I don't know how Professor X and Magneto gonna survive this shit. So let's see what we got. It's a robot version of Days Future Past. Yeah, it's like the flip-flop version of Days Future Past. Yeah. So this is like Hickman has created this tapestry, this thread. Eli, I know I just fast forward through this shit, but I'm loving it right now. That's why I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad when he leaves, man. Even though he's already 1 foot out the door anyway. Because when he's gone, you got the rest of these yahoos writing this bullshit on X-Men and stuff like that. And I don't. It's okay, but you can't, feed me steak and then, serve me cheeseburger afterwards. You promised me this.
This will be his trilogy then. He had Fantastic Four, then Avengers, and then X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men. But the thing is, he didn't get to finish his X-Men. Because like I know, if he got to finish his X-Men, he would have tied all that shit in together. All of a sudden, Franklin Richards shows up and all this shit would have all connected together. But Marvel didn't give it to us, man. I'm hurt. That's why I'm mad about this book, man, because it's so good. It's so much better than any other X-Men bullshit we getting, So
I mean, I'm reading it.
Yeah, that was saying you're reading it. All right. So all right, what you got next?
We still on Marvel?
Right,
I guess I'll do what should I do? Oh no, wrong window. I'll do Star Wars. You're doing Devil's Reign, right?
I'm doing Devil's Reign, yeah.
Okay, I'll do Crimson Reign.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Oh, damn, it's a lot of rain. Yeah, a lot of rain. Chocolate rain. That song was about systematic racism. I actually broke down the lyrics of it. It was just like, yeah, okay. I thought it was like a goofy YouTube song. Yeah. You gotta go back and like you can listen to it, but you gotta hear it. Number 2, psychological kind of got promoted. No, it was actually Bishop. Yeah, Bishop took over Cyclops' spot.
I know Cyclops. Psylocke or Cyclops? What do you say? Psylocke.
Okay.
Cyclops and Psylocke.
Psylocke, got promoted, but yeah, but
I think she's gonna be in the new Marauders or something. I think that's what she's gonna do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, this is Star Wars Crimson Reign number 2.
Okay.
This is kind of spinning out of the War of the Bounty. The War of the Bounty Hunters is finally over.
Okay,
Done.
so this is tying together.
This is afterwards. This is the sequel to Crimson Reign. Now, I really didn't give a shit until I thought, oh, this is going to be about Crimson Dawn. Kira,
the whole crime lord, yeah,
from Solo.
My
so
girl.
I figure I'd give it a whirl. I'm trying to piece together the Solo series that could have been. So yeah, this is basically after the War of the Bounty Hunters, after everybody went to war trying to find Han Solo frozen in carbonite, shaking up the whole criminal underworld. Ended up at Jabba's because that's where we know. We've seen the movies. That's where he ended up. But now, during that whole war, Crimson Dawn, who they thought was eradicated, came back. And now they're making a play. And they're basically going around the galaxy, making connections with all the crime families. And she has one thing in mind. Kira wants to kill Vader.
Wait, why does she want to kill Vader?
Who gives a shit?
Okay, I'm reading too much into it. Okay,
I'm like,
it's just like a jump, but yeah, okay.
I'm like, you know what? I don't care now. because she's not gonna kill Vader. She's
not gonna kill Vader. But I'm like, why even bother? It's like because the area she's in, she's outside like the outer rim where the Empire isn't even there.
No, during the War of the Bounty Hunters, that all changed. The Hutts were working for the Empire. They had a contract with the Empire. Yeah, this is some Godfather Corleones Godfather 3 shit where the Corleones were in league with the Vatican and shit. This is like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So,
I'm gonna go with
Hutts,
it. I'm go with it. Okay.
This is the Hutts were in league with the Empire, but the Hutts, that contract is done. Now another all these crime families are trying to basically get in league with the empires to get, they want to go legit. You know what I'm saying? And but Kira knows this. Kira knows that they know that this the criminal underworld has their code and all that shit, but that the Empire is fucking it up and basically pitting everybody against each other. So that's why she wants to get rid of Vader, and so she's going around trying to collect, people that will help her. There's this one crime organization called the Orphans, who were basically kids whose parents were killed by the Empire, and they're out to kill, they're out to get the Empire. So they're like, hey, we want to kill Vader. Like, okay, fuck yeah, let's go kill Vader. And my thing is, they're not going to kill Vader because we've seen the movies. This is my problem with keeping these stories in the Skywalker saga or involving them. Like, you could have had this whole gangster story without involving Vader and Palpatine and Luke. Luke is going to be on one of the covers and shit. And now she's going to go have a sit down with Leia. So, they just want to have, the two bitches that fucked Solo. Let's have a scene with them too. Like, don't fucking care. But
like,
yeah,
they
they're trying to
make Kira like a new character, have her go on new adventures.
Yeah. And just be this, like, godmother of the crime and shit and do some cool ass shit. But no, she's going to go try and kill Vader. And she's not, because Vader doesn't die by her. He's probably going to kill her, and we already know what's going to happen. And I'm like already over it. Yeah. So
Damn, I was excited, and you just kind of deflated all that.
Well, I was curious. I wanted to see. Okay, let's see.
She's master of the Terikasi.
Yeah, let's see that shit. Let's expand on Solo a little bit. The only Star Wars movie that I thought sucked. That's just me. But I was like, hey, let's check out. This ties into Solo movies, and they were supposed to have 3 Solo movies, but that got squashed.
The same people that canceled Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, same assholes, same fucking assholes. You fucked up,
They're the same movie. Now you think about it, a bunch of rogue criminal assholes teaming up together on a spaceship. The same thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Cowboy Bebop, Firefly. It's all shit
Solo,
that happened.
It's all the same thing. Yeah,
it's all fucking Millennium Falcon shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't care. But the one thing that was interesting out of this, and I'm gonna flex my Star Wars geekery a little bit. They mentioned the Black Sun and Prince Zizor. Oh, I got a fucking image.
Okay.
So Prince Zizor, who, for those who might remember, Prince Zizor was head of the Black Sun in Shadows of the Empire. Y'all remember that game? There was a game. There was there was a comic book series. They made Nintendo a big 64, toy line. Yeah. Toy. They made a whole toy line around Shadows of the Empire.
The main guy's name was like Dash Rendar or something.
Dash Rendar. Yeah, he was like a.
I thought I made that up. Okay, that's
yeah. He was like he was a pilot of the Outrider, which was basically a half-assed Millennium Falcon and shit. Still one of the coolest Star Wars games that I've ever played, especially in like the space fighting scenes. The Hoth level where you're flying the smoke speeders and fighting the AT-ATs. That's some of the coolest gameplay in all the Star Wars games, in my opinion. N64, 90.
I like the one that kind of ripped off Devil May Cry. I can't remember the name of the dude with Star Killer.
Force Unleashed. That was cool.
That one.
Yeah, that was cool. But hey, flying around, blowing up TIE fighters, that was dope. You can lock on in the missiles. That was just, I would repeatedly play just those levels, just because I had so much fun. But anyways, Prince Zizor was part of the Shadows of the Empire series. He was the head of the Black Sun, a criminal organization, and he was in cahoots with the Emperor. And he was trying to basically replace Vader. Vader ends up killing him in that story. So, but here he is, alive and well. Oh, if he's even canon, I don't even know what happened to Dash Rendar.
Yeah, that's part of the EU. So
that's all the EU now. I don't know after what happened to Dash Rendar. There is, again, I'm flexing my Star Wars geekery here. In the special edition of A New Hope, you can see the Outrider taking off from Maz Eisley. It's a little Easter egg. when George Lucas redid his movies back in the 90s and added all the new effects, you can see the Outrider, his ship taking off from Mos Eisley when Luke and Obi-Wan roll into town on the land speeder and shit. So yeah, just to make that part of the universe. So yeah, but Prince Caesar was killed by Vader in Shadows of the Empire, but he's alive and well in this comic. So that'll piss off a bunch of Star Wars fans. This ain't no fucking EU, you know.
Like I said, they pick and choose what comes and what goes. So yeah. Man, well, it's hard for me to get to Star Wars. That's the thing. It's
you got to be born into it, man. Like me, I was born into.
You kind of do. You kind of do. You know, people always act like, "How do I get to Star Wars?" You can't. You can't. You can't pick. I'm talking about New Hope. I'm talking about in like Return of the Jedi and like even the old stuff. If you're not into it back then, you can't get into Star Wars. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm a Star Wars baby. That's like the first movie I saw ever in the theater was the first Star Wars movie. 77, A New Hope. It wasn't even called A New Hope back then. It was just called Star Wars.
Just Star Wars, right?
They started adding A New Hope and all these Episode 4 and all that shit later on, you know, because George Lucas kept tweaking with the shit. So yeah, that was just me. That's just my childhood, you know. So yeah, I played with all the toys, saw all the movies as a kid, and yeah. Then it ended. It ended back in the 80s. Thought it was done. Now here we are. It still ain't done. Here we are 30 years later, and people are bitching and moaning, you know, every generation bitching about it. The OG fans hate the prequels. The fans of the prequels hate the sequels. And and yeah. And so on and so on.
Circle of life.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
Oh man. All right. So
I give it a 3 out of 5. You know, art's still cool. They're doing all the cool art in these books, but I don't think I'm gonna stay on this because I just don't care anymore. Damn. You're just wringing it dry, man. You're wringing that Star Wars or Skywalker saga dry.
That last piece of toothpaste in the
it's gone, man. It's done, man. Do some new shit. That's why I'm reading High Republic, because that's all new. I'm reading all that shit. All new characters, all new adventures. Yeah, fucking motherfuckers riding Rancors with lightsabers and shit. It's dope. You know.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let me go on. Let me see. Okay. So now, since you did Crimson Rain, I almost want to call it Crimson Dawn. You did Crimson Rain. Now I'm going to do Devil's Reign. I forgot the name of this book. It's like it's too much similar shit, man. Even the colors even the covers kind of look similar to each other on this one. So yeah.
And speaking of Crimson, I also read a book called Crimson Ring or Crimson Cage. I'm not going to review it, but yeah. So I had Crimson Rain, Crimson Cage, Devil's Reign, and yeah.
Yeah, it's just like last week when we reviewed all the book and every book had like fire on it. And you couldn't remember which one was which. It's just like, okay, I don't know what I'm picking. So yeah. All right. So yeah, the book we're going to do now is Devil's Reign. So what this book is about? This is Chip Zdarsky's basically grand opus, his grand finale he's been doing on his Daredevil run. I have not read a single issue in his Daredevil run, so I don't know what the hell is going on in this one. Eli, I think you reviewed one of the books one time, but
I followed for. I didn't stay on the Chip Zdarsky run. You know,
okay,
I was reading it for a while, but yeah.
Okay, so this is supposed to be just dealing just with that. So let's just go into it, see what's going on, and just follow on as best you can. Like I said, I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna just put the piece together and see what's going on. So apparently,
I didn't know what was going on either. You know.
Yeah, so, I kind of figured out what was going on, but anyway,
it's been over a year since I've read Daredevil, so they're making references that I didn't really know about. I mean, I knew Wilson Fisk was mayor and all that shit, but
yeah, because it has been popping up like other books too and stuff like that. So yeah. All right, so apparently this brother and sister team. Now I'm pretty sure they're like supervillains, but I don't know who they are. The Stromwins. They're the ones that put Wilson Fisk in office. I guess they like put money behind him, whatever like that, or put political, propaganda, whatever it was. And basically they're saying, so ever since we put Wilson Fisk in office, he's been doing this wild shit, killing people, bribing people, just doing kingpin shit, even though he's the mayor. So so what should we do next? The election year is coming up. So should we put him back in office or should we do something else? They're like, you know what? Let's think bigger, But we'll find out what that is coming on later on. So anyway, we go to Daredevil. Daredevil is summoned by Wilson Fisk. Wilson Fisk shows up, throws a folder at his feet. He's just like, I didn't bring my reading glasses.
I didn't bring my
can't
reading
read-
glasses.
I can't read that. He's like, look, you know what that is? That is your identity in there. But however, those pages are blank. So, but nobody can get into my facilities without me knowing. So obviously, you did something to me. What did you do? And Daredevil just laughs at him. He's like, don't worry about what I did to you. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna get your ass. So he basically pissed off Kingpin. King was like, you know what? Fuck all this. All superheroes banned. But he goes down the list. He's just like, look, all this stuff, like, we got alien invasion by Null last year. There was an alien that came to this planet by Spider-Man. When the Asgardians and the Dark Elves invaded us, that's from Thor's planet. So all superheroes do is just cause more tragedy than they solve. So yeah, I'm banning all of them. I don't care who it is. I don't care what you do. If I see powers, you ban. You stop. It's like, okay, So, and he's married to Typhoid Mary? When did that happen?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I
Yeah,
guess.
let's just go with it. Yeah. So we're doing the whole Civil War thing again. Superheroes are banned.
Pretty much.
But so is that whole thing again. But the Thunderbolts are now working for Kingpin, and they go around just arresting all superheroes.
The Thunderbolts are the cops.
Thunderbolts are the cops. It's symbolism. Now, this panel right here, this fucked me. I'm like, who the hell is this? It's Miles Morales. They redesigned his costume.
His new costume, yeah.
I was like, damn, another spider dude? You're like, shit. Okay, so it was Miles. So I don't know. The costume might grow on me a little bit, but I don't know. I think the mask is a little bit too much. Anyway,
You don't like the Jordans? I thought it was.
I like the Jordan. I like the Jordan. I like my superheroes in Jordans. I'll talk about that later on, but but yeah, so Miles is a jokester from like rescuing a girl from a burning building, and then some more Thunderbolts show up, and they shocking about to arrest them, and then Captain America shows up. He's like, get away from me, young man. He's like, oh, Captain America, you arrested too. You're like, oh no, you're not gonna arrest me. And then they're about to take Miles' mask off. He was like, no, my family. They gonna know. And Captain America's like, you know what, fuck this. And he just starts smashing with the shield and start beating shit at everybody. So they take off running in Spider-Man and Daredevil, Electro, or Daredevil, whatever you want to call it. They all show up and they go do their thing. The whole Civil War thing again. We've seen it. They go to Fantastic Four. Dr. Octopus puts some inhibitor collars on them, and they take over the Fantastic Four base. And that Dr. Octopus has all of Reed Richards' files and stuff. I'll skip past that. This is pretty cool. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones walking down the street. And all of a sudden the bus just goes off the road or train. I don't know. Luke Cage stops it. But just for him showing his powers, the Shocker shows up. And he just beat the shit out of Darkhawk. I love this panel. Just the fact that Darkhawk got the shit beat out of him, we don't even see it. Because fuck Darkhawk. I don't care. Anyway, they fight. Luke Cage beat the shit out of Shocker because, of course. But the thing is, afterwards, while he's beating the shit out of Shocker, they're getting filmed on camera. And then he makes this big speech. He's just like, look, we got a gangster in the office. He thinks he can do what he wants to. We got to stand up to him. We got to stand up against the man, all the stuff like that. So, and then you get the crowd behind him. I'm not Captain America. I'm not Mr. Fantastic. I'm just a New Yorker, and I just do what New Yorkers do. He's a man of the people. People champ. Will Smith's got a kid. Don't care. Anyway, we get to the end. So basically, they know what's gonna happen. We got to get the hell out of town before they rescue us. So Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, take baby Danny. She's Captain America in the future, but we're not gonna get into all that. 2099 or whatever. And then they see Tony Stark, and Tony Stark is like hiding, but it's clearly an Iron Man car he's riding in. But anyway, so he's just like, look, the only way we're going to beat Kingpin, we can't fight Kingpin because he has public opinion behind him. So the only way we're going to beat him is on his own turn. And I am going to run for mayor.
Is by voting. That's how you change everything.
Exactly. Not by punching people, And that's it. And Kingpin kills Purple Man. I don't care. Oh, yeah. That was a big shit.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No. I did care about that. That actually did care about that. I was like, there was another stinger. So he catches Purple Man because Purple Man was the one that erased his memory. Why he don't know who Daredevil is. So he kills Kingpin.
Because they're in the Baxter building, so he has access to the negative zone now.
He got access to the negative zone, and they kept Purple Man in the negative zone in prison. Prison 42 or whatever Civil War did. So we got the Strom Winds, and they're basically talking like, okay, our big plan, Fist for president. So yeah, symbolism. He like, I don't know. I don't
Really?
know. It's too derivative. It's like the greatest hits of everything we've already seen before.
But I still thought it was kind of fun. I thought it was.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
But
yeah, it's just another Civil War or a Kingdom Come, or we've seen it before. We know
President
what they're saying.
Luther, all this stuff like that.
Yeah, we've seen it, but just with different characters this time.
Who the hell? Okay, Jessica Jones, the bad guy, Jessica Jones, the Netflix show. Jake, watch that. That's that guy.
He can Jedi mind trick everybody. Yeah,
Jedi mind trick everybody. That's what he does. So, so Fish just got rid of him. So, yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, we've been down this road so many times. How many shows? Because Civil War wasn't even the first Civil War in Marvel. They did shit back in the 80s with the Beauty Registration Act and all stuff like that. They did this shit with the champions, with the kids. They outlawed them.
Yeah.
Now they're outlawing the kid. But it's Chip Zdarsky. Like I said, he's one of the he's one of the GOATs in the league right now. So
I mean, I thought the scene with Luke Cage talking that shit and giving his speech, that was kind of cool. I thought
it was kind of cool. Little
heavy
handed.
Everyone
cool.
had him on his phone.
Everybody had the phone. The revolution would not be televised.
Yeah, I mean that. Me being here in the Twin Cities, that's how I saw most of the shit during the riots last year. Is most of people had their phones out. People knew what the fuck was going on, but then you watch the news and they're all fucking bunch of bullshit.
Right. The world outside your window. That's what Marvel calls themselves.
Yeah, so. Fucking. I saw my friends getting tear gassed and fucking shot with rubber bullets and shit. Then you watch Fox News; they have a bunch of fucking list of all the officers injured in all the riots. And then when January 6th happens, oh my God, all those. All of a sudden, they didn't give a shit about any of the officers injured in that riot. So
right.
Yeah, I can see what this show. I can see what this comic is doing, but I still had fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because it's doing Civil War, but it's not doing Civil War. It's like Civil War from a different perspective, which I'm cool with.
Civil War in the hood, basically.
Yeah, basically, because there's no debate on whether Kingpin is wrong. He's Kingpin.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be wrong. But that's the whole point. He's abusing his power. So, and it's something that the superheroes can't fight. So I want to see. I'm sticking with it. I want to see where Chip takes this.
Iron Man running for mayor.
Iron Man running for mayor. Yeah, had a Darkhawk and Moon Knight. Yeah, I like Dark Knight. Well, see, I don't know the new Darkhawk. I'm just saying, fuck that old one from the 90s. That guy sucked. So I know it's a new one now. But Shaka beat the new one's ass. So never mind.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. See, I'm not reading the new Daredevil, so I didn't know that shit about the Purple Man's kids.
I didn't know, but they said it. They said it in this book. They were like, Purple Man's kids did that stuff, and his kids are still out there. And he just killed, Purple Man. Keep good at any point. No, he's an asshole. Very much an asshole. This whole thing is a commentary. After everything we've all been through, of course they're going to make Kingpin a political figure because reasons. Same reason why they made Lex Luthor president in 2004.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. And making him president, that's just even, you might drive a nail on the head even more. So yeah. All right. So I'm done. What you got? I'm gonna stick with it. See where it goes.
I got Batman, the new Batman. Joshua Williams, new Batman.
See, if I'd known another guy was writing this Batman book, I might have picked it up. I had to get rid of that other guy. Yeah.
So Tiny Ann's done. Fear State is done. Now it's the new Batman. And basically it picks up right after the Fear State shit has happened. They killed the Peacekeepers or whatever. And everyone's kind of celebrating. Gotham is actually happy. People in Gotham are celebrating, like, woohoo, Fear State's done. Batman whooped ass. They're all loving it. And they're kind of celebrating Batman. The Bat family are like partying and shit. And Batman's like, I cannot, but of course it's Batman. He can't ever be happy. So he goes off and I forget where he goes. He goes somewhere. And then I got an image here. He goes off and he forms Batman Incorporated again.
Why? That's where they're going with. Why did he do this?
And I got the image up. And that's all I needed to see was Man of Bats. And I'm like, fuck this.
Okay, so don't pick this book up. That's the thing. I was like, I'm gonna wait to see what Eli says about this dude. But you said Batman Incorporated. I'm like, nope, I'm done. Nope.
I saw Man of Bats, and I'm like, fuck.
This shit was dumb as hell when Grant Morrison did it. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Man of Bats is the Native American Batman who wears a headdress because, bats wear headdresses. And he rides a fucking buffalo. Just the corniest, fucking stupidest bullshit. And I'm like, fuck that.
Oh,
like,
man.
it's
also where Batwing came from. He was the Batman of Africa, but they
there's all Batmans from all the nations and shit. There's a Viking Batman and but they ruined it. I know Grant Morrison. I know his heart is in a good place, but come on, dude.
Okay, let me explain Batman Incorporated, because Grant Morrison was basically paying homage to the Silver Age. They actually did this shit back in the 70s or 60s or whatever it was like that. So since everything is canon, he just brought it back. He was like, let's just bring back this bullshit, so.
Yeah. It's Grant Morrison. So, he wasn't just writing a story. He was writing about things. His
right.
Batman run, well, most of the comics he writes about are about commentaries and social commentaries. And basically his Batman he's basically writing why do people like Batman, and the story of Batman is kind of dumb.
Yeah. Or I feel like what Grant Morrison doing was trying to modernize the Silver Age. Like, okay, this shit was dumb. The Bat-2C and all this stuff was dumb, but let's re-modernize. Let's take Batmite and make him serious,
Yeah, he's basically taking everything that ever happened in Batman's canon and history of Batman comics and made it and brought it into his story.
No matter how wacky this shit is, it happened. Yeah.
It was all true.
Yeah. And he said anything that was like way too weird, like he went in outer space and got Superman powers, he got gassed by Scarecrow. Don't worry about it. So
yeah. And but basically he was talking about his point being that basically what Alan Moore says, that the narratives of superheroes are kind of shallow, in a way that there's only so much you can do with that narrative before it just starts becoming a farce after a while.
Right. Especially you go for like 80 years,
80 years, and this has all happened to this guy, and it's kind of dumb. He basically admits that these stories are kind of dumb, but there's a purpose to them that
their mythology,
and they're meant to inspire and teach lessons, and that's what they're there for. And he kind of brings it in the end,
Yeah, because his last story was Batman R.I.P. and at the end of it, he was saying, no, Batman can't die.
He can't die because Batman, anybody can be Batman, and that's why we have Man of Bats. Fuck.
Triggered.
Yeah, anybody can be Batman. Batman, the Batman lives in us, and he's, it's Grant Morrison. He's getting all deep and,
it means
esoteric and philosophical and shit.
You remember about Batman Inc. is Batman and Damon getting killed and resurrected.
Yeah.
Oh, in the Hellbat suit. Yeah.
That's why he had Dick and Batman, or Dick as Batman, and Damian Robin,
Yeah. Which I love that, because Damian was acting like Batman as Robin and Dick was acting like Robin as Batman. It was weird. I love that dynamic. But anyway. All right. So yeah, let me go to the next book I got. Now since we're on DC.
2 out of 5. Fuck it. I'll give it
Thank you for letting me not pick that book up. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna do Superman, Son of Kal-El, annual #1. So like I said, this is Jonathan Kent, not Clark Kent, Jonathan Kent, the son of Superman. Son of Superman would have been a better, well, the book is called Son of Superman, technically. All right, so basically what the book is about is the return of Lex Luthor. Now, keep in mind, Lex Luthor, last time we saw him, destroyed the multiverse and unleashed the Dark God onto the multiverse. But now he's back in business because he's Lex Luthor.
Was that Death Metal?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was the last time we saw him.
I never finished that.
I finished it, but I wish I didn't. But yeah. Is he the only that gay? Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's bi. This is the one, but he doesn't make out with Lex Luthor anything in this one, so
even though Lex Luthor was in prison, But that's just prison gay. I guess that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. State gay for the state, so that doesn't count. All right, so let's get to it. So let's talk about what's going on in this book. So basically, this book starts off actually with a flashback where we got OG Soups in there, and he's fighting, the Legion of Doom, and he's got the Justice League, and they hit him with kryptonite, and he's fighting Lex Luthor and Metallo, and then Lex Luthor starts going about this whole monologue about his evil scheme. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and when I take over the world and all stuff like that. And then Superman just stands up. You're like, cool, okay, Batman, you got all that? You're like, yep. I recorded everything Lex Luthor dumbass says, so now we got it. Now we can incriminate him. And Lex Luthor like, wait a minute, I hit you with kryptonite. I just checked Metallo's radiation to make sure that he's actually shooting kryptonite. And then Metallo looks at him, he's like, yeah, you did 10 minutes ago, right before he turns into Martian Manhunter. You're like, Wonder Woman's beating Metallo's ass right now. So yeah, you're done. So anyway, cut to it. Some other shit happens. Lex Luthor's in jail, and Superman is visiting him in jail because their star witness in Luthor's trial has came up missing. The mechanic that welded the kryptonite in the Metallo's suit. Yeah. So Lex Luthor like, I don't know what happened to that guy, but I tell you what, you play a game of chess with me, it may jog my memory. So Superman like, I'm not playing your game. Like, come on, one game. So Superman sits down. Lex Luthor already can tell he sucks at chess. First thing he does is take a knight and put it over the pawn. He's like, that's the dumbest ass move in the world. But since you're Superman, of course, you would put the knight above the pawns, So before they can finish, and Lex Luthor's actually like, look, man, if you stop trying to spend so much time trying to kill me, all the problems in the world, you could have fixed this shit. Like, yeah, I could. I don't want to, But anyway, Batman finds the guy that Lex Luthor hid. And once the game is over, Superman just leaves. He like, the move is over. And he's like, it's your move. He's like, no, I'm not playing your game, Luthor. We're done. And that just pisses off Lex Luthor. He was like, no, you're going to play my game. You're going to come back, So anyway, we go to present day, and Jonathan cannot find Clark, nowhere in the solar system. He looked everywhere he can't find him, and then, they hear a knock on the door, and it turns out it's Batman. And Johnny's like, wait, Batman walked through the front door? Why didn't you like pop up in the kitchen or something like that? And Lois is like, nah, he don't do that anymore.
Yeah, he did that once. Yeah.
He did that once. He was like, look, I learned my lesson, Lois. I'm not gonna do it again. You're like, I know you're not gonna do it again, And he's like, look, he not joining the Justice League. And Bruce like, look, I know that I'm not here for the Justice League, not today. But Clark wanted me to give you something. He was like, and so he gave him this thing. He was like, look, the only place you can read it is in the Force of Solitude. It's one of those sunstones, from Superman 1, the movie, or whatever like that. So Jonathan goes there, some shit with a polar bear. I don't care. We'll go past that. And then, yeah, he puts the little ice cube in the sunstone into the thing, and out pops his pops, Clark. Clark has made an AI of himself that he can go there and talk to him. So he's like, look, you can ask me anything you want. Man, I only got 2 questions to ask you. Where are you? When you coming back? Oh yeah, I can't answer those questions. But I can't answer anything else, So that's the thing. So they talk like that. Anyway, they have a conversation. So basically now he has his own Jor-El, but it's really, his own. Lex Luthor does some Lex Luthor shit. I'll talk about that shit later on. But the main thing is, Mercy's back. I forgot Mercy's back. Yeah. Anyway, Lex Luthor has schemed and blackmailed and threatened and killed his way to basically get all his money back. So now he's back in business. LexCorp is back. Even though he tried to destroy the multiverse, he's back being a billionaire. And basically he's like, look, I bought some real estate and I know exactly where I'm gonna put it. So he rebuilt LexCorp, made it the tallest building in Metropolis, and made it so tall it casts a shadow over the Daily Planet, which was the former tallest building in Metropolis. So he was like, this shit ain't gonna happen. So Jonathan, switch the clothes. Oh, and then L in LexCorp blows off of it. And Jonathan like, it wasn't me. I know it looks like I did it. I didn't do it. So he goes over there, turns into Superman. Cat, saves the L from, hurting people. And then some crazy Lex bots come out. But Lex Luthor is like, look, these are my robots, but I didn't send them after me. Somebody else reprogrammed them to come kill me. So he was like, okay, look, we're not teaming up, but this one time we'll team up. So they team up, fight some robots, and then they just meet each other, stuff like that. So Lex Luthor's like, that was fun. All right, look, let's go up and just talk. No. Actually, what Lex Luthor says, me and your father had a game we were playing that we didn't finish it. I want you to finish the game for him. He was like, man, I'm not finishing the game for him. He was like, you know what? I'll finish this game one time. Meet me upstairs in 10 minutes and I'll finish this game of chess with you. Because I just want to sit down and actually have a talk with you and pick your brain. You're like, cool. Oh, and he also says, look, if I win this chess match, you take that LexCorp down off the building. I don't want to shine it over the Daily Planet. He was like, deal. And if I win the game, it stays up there and I don't change shit. Like, okay, cool. So like I meet you up there in 10 minutes, they play a game of chess and they go. So the whole thing is basically Jonathan does the whole thing. This Clark was doing the whole thing. He's like, why don't you change everything that's going on? Like you have the power to change stuff, but you're too busy trying to conquer the world. But think about it. If you cure world hunger, cure the national debt, cure climate change, everybody, you're going to be, won't you be in everybody's debt anyway? Like you could do. He's like, yeah, I could. I won't do any of that. I just want to just be evil, you know? So anyway, while all that's going on, Jonathan beats him. Checkmate. The reason he beat him because even though he's never played a game of chess in his life, during the 10-minute span it took for him to get up there to the top of LexCorp, he went to the Metropolis Library, read every single chess book that Lex Luthor ever did, and he knows every move that Lex Luthor was going to do, and that's how he beat him. So, and then he leaves. And, so now he left. Now he's got to take the Lex Luthor thing down. And before he leaves, so Lex Luthor's pissed, and he comes back and grabs the L. He's like, oh, by the way, Luthor, hold this L. And then drops it down and then leaves.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. I thought it was pretty funny. So, and then he was like, anyway, the guy, he knows who did this shit. Anyway, he killed the guy. But he was like, you know what? Fuck this new Superman. Call that dude over in Gamora, that president. I need to have a conversation with him. To be continued. That's the book. So basically, it's just introducing Lex Luthor to the new status quo of this, you know. So all that shit he did, destroying the multiverse, But they actually make a comment on that. They actually say he has fans because he did all that dirty shit and kind of bounced back, which is another commentary, but we're not going to go down that road, you know. So, but overall, pretty good book, you know, 4 out of 5.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. So, I forgot you said you read it. So, yeah. So, yeah, what you got? Well, I'm booked out, but what you got next?
I'll do Batman 89.
Cool.
Number 4. What is it? Whatever. Yeah. So this is Batman 89. This is a tribute to the Burton universe, the Burton Batman movies. We got Billy D. Williams back as Harvey Dent, Michael Keaton, all that shit. The Burton movies. This is supposed to be a part 3 Burton movie, right?
Yeah, Batman 3.
That never got made.
They scrapped it because part 2 pissed off McDonald's. So yeah. And toy companies.
Yeah. So this has and Marlon Wayans was supposed to play what was his name? Drake Winston? He's supposed to play Full Robin.
Yeah, Black Robin. Yeah. And matter of fact, he got so close to it, he even got paid for even though the movie never came out. So yeah.
Yeah. So so basically it's a bunch of political shit happened. Batman was chasing some kid and then the cops shot another kid. So there's been a bunch of protests going on in Gotham, you know. And this one picks up. Well, last issue, Harvey Dent was in the fire that fucked up his face. So he's going nuts in this issue. He's turning into Two-Face. He's going mad. But then this also picks up whether there's a protest outside of the Gotham City Police Department. And Robin starts throwing like Molotov cocktails down on the police. And because
the police were about to arrest everybody.
Yeah.
Even though it was a peaceful protest, they was about to arrest everybody.
Yeah. Blowing up cars, like spray painting the cops' helmets and shit. Pretty funny. And then, of course, Batman sees the footage on TV and then has Alfred go pick up Robin. And brings him back to the Batcave.
Before you continue, I wish you would have had that panel. You saw the panel where Drake was sitting on top of the gargoyle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That is a direct reference to Tim Drake when he did it.
Okay.
So that's the old comic panel. So I just want to just put that in. I should have had them side by side, but whatever. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, cool. So, So yeah, so he takes him. Bruce brings Robin down to the Batcave and it's like, "Yo, man, you know, I like what you do, but you need some training." And then, but basically, Robin's like, "Yo, man, you're Batman. You should come help me." You know, because
Come
Batman's
down to the
kind of
hood,
been,
right?
yeah, Batman's kind of been depressed lately. He kind of gave it up. He's been on a hiatus ever since that kid got shot. He's been feeling guilty about it, so he hasn't done any Batman shit. You know, so Robin basically convinced him, "Hey, put back the cowl on, man. Let's go do some shit." So they said, "Yeah, cool, let's do it." And that's kind of where we at. And I'm digging this book. I'm liking it. So yeah,
Like I said,
4
the
out of
Batman
5.
movie we never got, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, basically, and it's still relevant today.
yeah, that's the thing. So you know, like I said, they changed some stuff to make it more relevant. Like I said, with
And
the police
remember,
brutality and
yeah, remember when those Batman movies came out? This is right after the LA riots. So
that is true.
this
So
was going to be relevant back then.
yeah, but you know,
Hasn't
back
changed.
then, like comic book movies being topical
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of wasn't a thing then.
Yeah,
back then,
they weren't going to let any of that. Yeah, that's why they got
especially
the
with McDonald's, you know, telling you can't.
yeah. So yeah, that's well, I did read Post Americana, last issue of that. That was that post-apocalyptic dystopian futuristic tale. It's written and drawn by Steve Scroach.
And you've been doing write-ups on this, right?
Yeah. And I've been digging this shit. Let's see. Do I have that image? Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Boom. Right there. Okay. So yeah, he was like one of the concept artists on the Matrix movies. So his art is like crazy detailed and shit. But it's just a really it's a futuristic dystopian tale making a bunch of political allegories, which we've again, like Civil War, like, you know, like the Devil's Reign, we've seen it before, but it's all in the execution. This is just insane, violent, over the top, campy, just nuts. You know, we got, you know, there's a president, you know, the future, it's like 100 years in the future. There's been a nuclear war. America's just decimated. All the rich folks have been living in this mountain sort of mountain habitat, you know, living in luxury, kind of like the movie WALL-E. You know, they're all living in on this, like inside this mountain while the rest of the country has gone to shit, cannibals eating each other, you know, fighting and, you know, mutant monsters and shit going on. And then there's like a rebellion, and this woman teams up with one of the guys who escaped the mountain to sort of rise up against this asshole politician guy who decides, I'm going to take America over. We're going to make America great again, basically.
Oh,
so yeah,
that old thing, yeah.
Yeah, where it's totally, you know, tongue-in-cheek, campy shit. And it's just over the top and violent and crazy. And one of my favorite books of the year. I'm going to go on. This is on my list as one of the best comics of the year. So yeah, knocked it out of the park. Yeah, last issue. This was the last issue. It has been a lot. It's like shit.
Okay, so
at least
spoiler alert
3-4
for everybody.
months. Yeah, since the last issue. It took a while for this issue to come out.
Because we're gonna do a best of the year towards the end of the year, maybe at the beginning of the year, depends. But Eli's already saying this is gonna be on his list. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still formulating mine, but I got some hits on mine. But yeah, so yeah. So
and I'm booked out then. So
I'm booked out also. Like I said, even though we didn't have a whole lot to talk about, we had a whole lot to talk about. It's probably gonna go on longer shows. If you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Get Valiant, just hit that 200th episode. I don't know if Eric is still with them. Like I said, Eric is an OG that used to, you know, podcast with us. You know.
Oh yeah.
No more. Did they come out?
The We Demons, We Are Demons or whatever book. Did that come out? I didn't see it.
I didn't see. If it did, it definitely flew over my head. I didn't see it. So
yeah, because I missed Inferno too. So
yeah,
it could have.
I'm gonna be pissed if I go there and see it. Like, oh shit, that was there. You know. Yeah, but like I said, this week coming out, like I said, we got Spider-Man No Way Home coming out. Eli, I know you're gonna be locked up in the house because of the snowstorm or whatever like that. But yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I'm spoiling everything. I'm gonna have detailed notes. I'm gonna just detail notes. You know, Mephisto shows up, Ultron shows up, Magneto, everybody.
Kingpin.
Kingpin, you know,
Tony
Miles
Stark
Morales.
shows up.
Right, Robert Downey Jr. Shit. Batman, I don't give a fuck. Everybody's gonna be in this shit. But yeah, but I'll let you know what's going on from there. But until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
と嘆くにはあまりにも時は過ぎてしまったまだ心のほころびを癒せぬまま風が吹いてる一つの目で明日を一つの目で昨日を見つめてる君の愛のゆりかごでもう一度安らかに眠れたら乾いた瞳で誰か泣いてくれ知りたいだけ泥の川に浸かった人生も悪くはない一度きりで終わるならに満ちた絶望と罠が仕掛けられてるこのチャンス何が良くて悪い